Next item on the agenda, the switch statement. And I would like to link that to other homework that we have, which is asking you to create a menu to communicate with the user using the menu. All right, so let's give it a try. So let's see if I wanted to create a little menu. Perhaps what I could do is this. Another private, for the sake of demonstration, static int function, sorry, method that returns an integer. We'll say display menu, or maybe something else like use menu. So this is a menu method, and what it does, it just will display the menu and ask user for an option. Just a demonstration. So display menu, I could do just a set of options. Okay, I'll just say private static string, private static final string equals 1 compute prime numbers. Another string. Oh, I need final string. Give it a name. Typically, the final variable, which is in this case a static variable inside of our class, should be named using uppercase. So I'll say choice stir choice 1. How about that? Then another stir choice 2, something like that. It's a string, right? So choice 2 would be something like that, right? And then choice number 3 would be exit or quit. So so preparing for the writing this display menu, it's very possible and actually perhaps advisable to keep track of your strings by simply creating them as constant strings, and the keyword final makes a string constant, meaning that it cannot be modified once it's created. And it also gets initialized very early on. So as soon as this, as soon as those choices are introduced into our code, they're immediately initialized and stay like that constant for the duration of our program. So to display the menu, that should be easy, right? I can just say system.out.print line and print those things on separate lines. So simply do it 3 times. It's not very flexible, but it's sort of highlights what I'm trying to do. Again, I can optimize a little bit more in the future, make things better, but at this point I'm just thinking about the most simple and straightforward approach. And then I can, of course, print prompt. How about that? And I could use another string, this time not a constant, not final, but just a prompt. so that I can get prompt from the caller of display menu and printing it. And then, of course, I need another scanner to get the information from the user. For this reason, we can do this. Take this line out of main, Control X, and move it and make it a static variable, just like those were. Just say private scanner equals new scanner. So now the scanner becomes available anywhere inside this main app class, which is all methods and all static variables that we create here. So this time the scanner becomes available to every method. Why should I create multiple scanners, multiple objects? I need only one, and I can use it every time I am going to communicate with the user. So then scanner, we'll say get int, right? Scanner get int, and we can say int choice. So that's what they do. Int choice equals scanner. I'm sorry, not get int, next. Next int, right? That's the name of the method that gives you that choice. Then it's unhappy about something there. Non-static variable sc cannot be referenced. Good prompt, good tip here. It says, well, it needs to be static, so that the static variable now can be accessed within static methods. Otherwise, if it wasn't static, then it would have to be instantiated after the program starts and somehow passed to my methods. So so here now I have this choice, and all I do is just return choice. I could also improve by saying if this choice is if my choice is what is basically it has to be greater than 0, right? And at the same time, remember the logical AND operator, and at the same time choice has to be less than 4. Okay, so between 1 and 3 inclusively. So only in this case I will say return this choice. Otherwise I'd say return, I'm sorry, we probably have to loop back and basically tell them bad choice, I'm sorry, right here, bad choice, please retry, something like that. Okay, so we can do that, and right here we can keep them in a forever loop. Another example of this endless loop, which you can see is quite popular. I mean, especially if you're trying to validate something, just keep them for, there for a while. So this is, I'll mark the ending of this for loop. You don't have to, but sometimes it just helps to match those opening and closing braces just by marking, especially when you have nested loops, one loop inside the other loop. So here, supposedly, we'll print these choices 1, 2, 3, which are these strings, and then we're gonna get out if the choice is greater than 0 and at the same time less than 4. So how about this? In my main program, in my main method, I guess, right here to demonstrate, I will say, how about this? I will move this entire method to the top so we have them next to each other, so it's easier for us to see them and talk about them. All right, so right here we have our oops, I'm sorry, again, the wrong guy. Where's my main method? right here. Okay, so that's the one I want to move to the top. Okay, I move it to the top right here, I guess. So, so we have a main and display menu. It was confusing the way it was arranged. So before I do anything else here, I will say integer choice equals display menu. Right? I need to pass some sort of a prompt, um, like your choice, something like that. And then display menu, right? And then I can say immediately if choice equals 3, then just return, right? Don't do anything. Just to demonstrate. In such cases, let me save this part as well.